So
Okay.
should
I
be.
didn't change anything
Do you have
there.
the YouTube enabled?
I
Let me
didn't
just.
change anything. Let me just double check.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Let me.
Crypto Vibes custom RTMP was enabled.
Okay. Let me just double check here and see if we can.
Should we close the stream and reopen it?
Just make sure. Maybe. Yeah. It says like live, but oh, enable auto start. Yeah. Enable auto stop. Yeah. Let me send you the. Oh, there it goes. Now
All
it's
right,
good.
we're
So
in.
there's just maybe some latency. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, we're in. Yay. Live streaming is uh it's live. I don't know if there's anywhere else to say it, but live streaming is very live. And
Yes.
when there's bugs in the moment, there's bugs, and I think it lends itself very well to the vibe coding element of things. So yeah, Kevin and I were just talking before the stream started, and myself personally, I've made a good amount of smart contracts, but it's been probably a year or two since I've really put a lot of heads down thought into smart contract development because I've been more on the subgraph kind of world for a while now. And
Yeah.
so I'm curious with Kevin and Scaffold ETH. He is working with smart contracts in their init state, and also with debugging, and has been so for years. I'm curious, Kevin, what you're going to build in terms of a subgraph, not subgraph, a smart contract, and then I'm going to run some audits on it and see what the model thinks.
Yeah.
Does that
That's a
sound
good
good to you
idea.
today?
Yeah, yeah, I think we'll just try to like just build something like that holds some like value, like some ETH and like yeah, maybe make it something like a little more complex that like
Sure.
has lots of like little areas that you probably need to double check.
A little surface
Um,
area issues that may pop up. Yeah, sure.
cool. All right, I'm just gonna tweet out this link real quick.
Awesome.
Cool. So we're up and going. What I can do now is go ahead and close out this and let me get kind of set up here.
All right.
So gonna need a new window
Mm-hmm.
and just want to make sure I don't have any other terminals open running
That's
now.
a good
Good.
call.
Okay, so
A
let's
little bit of
do
hygiene, right?
this. Yeah. Okay, so let me share my screen.
Okay.
I always like lose my Riverside link. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Okay, so share my screen. We'll do the whole screen, entire
Perfect.
screen. Boom. Okay. Cool. All right. So if anyone, is anyone watching this for the first time and doesn't know what Scaffold ETH is, it's like a starter kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a live stream yesterday with Austin. He made a really good point. It's like vibe coding, you actually really need like some kind of like framework, like to at least get started. And so like,
Mm-hmm.
not having to go through and do all the stuff like, initting the project and installing all the packages and all the libraries and all this stuff. And like a framework actually is a lot better for vibe coding because it already has all of like the stuff built that kind of ties stuff together. And
Mm-hmm.
Scaffold ETH does that exactly with like types, right? So we're just going to use Scaffold ETH. I'm not going to explain what Scaffold ETH is. You guys can just assume it's like a platform to build dApps on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to do it, it's pretty easy. Just run this one command. So let's do that. And we will call this, once it's installed the newest version, let me make the screen a little bigger. And we want to name it whatever. So we'll call this like hack me, please. And we'll use Hardhat. You get to choose a chain, Hardhat or Foundry. And we'll just try to think of some kind of like app that we can build that would like hold some funds. So do you have any ideas? Like anything that you think would be cool?
Well, if there could be, I mean, arbitrage is always interesting to me, so that's something that I'm diving
Arbitrage.
into right now. That might be a little
I,
bit advanced.
yeah, I
Let's
kind of
go
want
for
to
it.
do something like not like a full blown like prediction market thing, but like
Mm-hmm.
something a little like hackier, like something as simple as like maybe guessing a number,
Okay.
or I don't know something. I don't know. Let's see, because then we don't want to have to deal with like an oracle or something like that. That would be like way too
No, no, no.
complicated.
We're already thinking too advanced. Let's think like very of something that would store value. I mean, a piggy bank. Let's just do maybe a factory pattern smart contract that
Okay.
anyone in your group that you invite with multiple wallets could have access to this piggy bank, and anyone could deposit or take away testnet funds.
Cool. I like that idea. Okay. So if anyone doesn't know Scaffold ETH, you just need like a few terminals open. So you start up your chain in one window with Yarn Chain. Start up your front end in another window with Yarn Start, React. And then we'll use this one to do a deploy because it does come with a contract. So we'll just kind of like deploy that contract that comes with it. Oh, I did have something running, but that's okay. We'll run it on 3001 and let's go ahead and open it up here. And we deployed the contract that came with it, but it's a very basic contract and that's not what we want, but we want to be able to modify that. So let's load up our project in Cursor. Okay, so that's our environment. We got the environment set up. So let's go into Cursor, make this a little bigger. And we'll go into the hard hat directory where we're going to do our smart contract stuff, and we'll go into your contract here. So basically the goal is...
I've just got a question for you, Kevin. Did you start with Foundry or Hard Hat? I'm getting back into Foundry because I have a few dev friends that are saying it's better, and they have opinions on that. Just curious about you.
I think I've just used Hard Hat from like before Foundry was a thing. Yeah. And so I just find it that I know it a little better. There's a little more documentation, more like kind of troubleshooting stuff, maybe more context for AI.
Yeah.
I really don't think it matters. I mean, like Foundry is probably faster than Hard Hat.
I don't think it matters either, but it's fun to jump into opinions out there because there's some strong opinions that I've talked to about Foundry being way better.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I think personally, I don't think it really matters too much, honestly, at this point. But I just don't want to like, we could do Foundry next time.
Shifting over for me is a bit of a lift, but I think it's I'm just curious. Like I do like to pop into frameworks every once in a while. I did Vue like I don't know, like a year or two ago, just to pop in and just see what that's doing. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so let's replace the logic of your contract to actually be a bank, a piggy bank. We'll call it piggy bank. This will store users' funds. Maybe we support lots of users and tracks deposits. So it's almost like a real bank, right? Deposits and withdraws. And maybe just to like have a little flair, like maybe we reward people and some kind of token for making for holding deposits over a period of time. So if we like, we deposit like 1 ETH, then we can earn like some shitcoin or something. Pay it in a piggy coin.
Piggy coin, $ piggy. I like that.
Yeah, big piggy coin. And let's also update the UI for Next.js with a cool design that looks like a piggy bank and feels professional but silly. I don't know.
And now I have a question here before you run this prompt in this agent. How would you feel about referencing the Open Zeppelin docs or not? Like, are you curious about running this? Like,
Yeah, I guess for the sake of this demo, like we probably want to assume that the user doesn't know what Open Zeppelin is.
Correct.
But yeah, if you were like knowledgeable enough in the space, you probably would say, hey, use Open Zeppelin. So let's pretend like it's just a real true Viber.
There we go. Right? Open Zeppelin.
Okay.
Had to wear my shirt today. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, you got your Open Zeppelin shirt on.
Yeah, you can't see the screen, but yeah, I'm repping Open Zeppelin shirt today.
Okay. Nice. Okay, let's just do this.
I think it's smart not referencing those docs because vibe coding may not reference docs. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something, a little flair I want to give it, but let's just do this. Let's just see how it works. Okay, so essentially what's going on is we're going to like build out probably a new contract here. It might be multiple contracts. I don't know. We'll see. It should be multiple because we're going to have like an ERC20 token. We're going to have like the bank contract. Probably isn't going to try to do any kind of like proxy pattern or anything like that. It's going to update the deploy script here. Then it's going to go down here to the Next.js folder. and it's gonna basically probably write out the app. So Scaffold ETH uses app router, so it's gonna start building out an app here, and we'll just kind of let it sit. But let me walk through Scaffold ETH, I guess, while it's doing that. I think I've talked about Scaffold ETH a lot, so probably everyone on this knows it. But for anyone that's new, Scaffold ETH has got this homepage. So what we're going to do is probably replace this page with the piggy bank, but it's got a burner wallet in it, so we don't need to connect to MetaMask. Like I don't even have MetaMask installed on this browser. And it's got a debug contracts tab, which is really nice. So we can actually see all the functions that are in the contract.
That's my
and
favorite
test them.
feature, by the way. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see what it wants to do. Okay, so it wants to move everything. Okay, well, sure. Packages hard. Oh, it just wants to rename it. So it's renaming the contract, and that's probably going to update the deploy script.
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna try to like not look at the code, right? Let's just like YOLO a bunch of crazy stuff into this contract.
Yeah.
We'll try to get it like deployed to like just local, and then maybe we'll test it out a little bit with the UI, and then I'll just like pass it over to you.
Perfect.
I feel like I want to do something more advanced. Like the token is very interesting. Like you're getting like an interest rate in another token.
Sure.
But is there anything else that what can we do that's like very banky?
Well, I mean, I was thinking, you know, if a simple gamification, if we're all sharing in this piggy bank, there can be some type of unlock mechanism where if you want to take any of the funds out of the piggy bank, you have to essentially state correctly, let's say like two people who are in the piggy bank. The last person in the piggy bank is randomly given a number between 1 and I don't know, 100. And you have to guess if your number is higher or lower than theirs. Similar to that like card game where you put the deck of cards on your forehead. You know, like you're trying to guess if your number is higher or lower than them. I don't know. Just some simple logic just to have a unlock.
So like a game kind of thing? Like you're basically like...
Yeah, I'm just trying to find more surface area for the audit to occur, just to see if where there could be some logic. And it doesn't have to be like super complex, but that's the way I'm thinking. You're thinking of something more complex, like that you want to layer in there?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I just don't know how it would implement. Maybe what we could do is I write this, and then if you want to like take it over, then you can like add that feature too.
Sure.
That might show like a good thing.
Sure. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the last person who's deposited, and you have to essentially go through some type of logic that dictates what you can take away if you want to take anything, and it rewards you with certain amounts if you're more or less, you know, accurate or correct. Like if you're very correct, you could take out all of it, and if you're not as correct, then you can take out less. Just some logic, just more code surface area for the smart contract to essentially be audited.
Okay, based on a fixed APY or something.
Nice.
So it's asking me how I want to reward. So per year or something like, let's just give a really crappy percent or something like 2%. We're not going to beat inflation. So okay.
Someday we'll, I mean, I've been looking at different staking options recently, and just diving back in. It's amazing. I was looking in just 6 months ago, and it's changed dramatically again. So it's just every so often, viewers out there, go ahead and look at all the different staking options out there. There's a lot.
Yeah. So this is it's probably a very advanced contract we're building, which there's going to be a lot of attack surface area, I feel like. But I did notice it did use Open Zeppelin.
Oh, it did? Nice.
Yeah, so I think so. So maybe not as much as we'd hope, but there's always like chance that there's like some weird logic that it's not calculating. Like look at all this stuff it's trying to figure out. Like,
sure.
Yeah. So like the idea. So for people that are watching and like, what is he trying to program in here? Well, I'm just basically trying to say like, okay, well, people take like some ETH and they want to put it in the bank, right? Like just like you go to the bank and you put money in, you want to earn some value back on that. So the idea is that we have this other coin that we inflate with like a natural inflation and pay out the users based on how much they have in their account, right? So maybe we do this on a monthly basis or a yearly basis, and we basically push out that value to the users.
I like that. And I'm actually hesitating on adding more logic just based on that block of code that it was considering. I think there's
Yeah.
plenty of code in here to take a look at.
Yeah.
And so let's just get it running. And then from there, you could hand it over. And I won't
Yeah.
extend it any further. I think I saw all those functions and I was like, all right, cool. It's doing all right.
Okay. So it's finished the contract. So I'm going to deploy it. And let's see, start the UI. So now let's build the UI. Oh, something's going on here. What's it going on? Piggy coin, unexpected error, multiple artifacts called Piggy. Let's stop for a second. Let's fix this first. Let's get the contract deployed first.
Yeah.
It could be that I don't really want to look at what it's doing. I kind of want to just let it work, get it working.
Yeah,
I love like ChatGPT. The classic multiple artifacts error. like, it's really trying to like relate to, you know.
It's doing great. I mean, that little buddy is doing great. It's funny how a little string in the beginning of a wall of text can make me soften to that wall of text and be like, oh, it's trying.
Yeah. Didn't quite to deploy yet though.
Okay, we're getting there.
I think it's almost there. Oh, it's still generating.
Oh, still generating. Okay.
Oh wait, is it continuing? Boom, here. Let me just make sure this is working.
Sure.
I don't think so. I'm really interested to see what it does with the UI too. Yeah, so it's still doing it. It'd be cool if like it has like a giant pig emoji or something, you know, with like a little coin slot.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I never actually did have a physical piggy bank, but I did have a jar. I did have a jar for coins as a kid. I have no idea where that jar is now.
I don't know if my dad at his office used to have like a big, is this done? Okay, let's see if it worked now. He used to have like a big glass thing and he would fill it with dimes. So every time I would go there, I'd put the dimes in there. And then at the end, okay, it deployed, cool.
Right.
We emptied it out, took it to the bank, and it was like $2,000 in just dimes because they're so small.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Okay, so do we have like the app working too? Is it already like working? No. Okay, so finish the app, finish the front end. So with the contracts deployed, so now we're gonna finish the front end. But the contracts are all good. It looks like there's two contracts, Piggy Coin, like I thought, and Piggy Bank. And let's see here. It would also be good, like, so another thing Austin said yesterday that was like, just stood out is like, we kind of want the reward mechanism to kind of be automatic. Because like with anything, like you don't want to require like one user to come in and like push a button for like a system to work. You want to have like some automated way. So I'd also maybe like to do one little additional prompt where maybe we just double check. Maybe you can do it on your end, but the idea is that like, how are we like minting this inflation to pay the users in their bank? My guess is that it's probably like a manual thing right now. But it would be nice is that every time someone deposits or every time someone like withdrawals, we like update what those values should be.
Yeah, it runs the logic,
Yeah. So this is still going, but it looks like it's getting there. It created a piggy bank directory.
Nice.
Which is funny, but it's not putting it there yet, but that's okay. It should do it.
Anyone that's tuning in on chat, how you doing today? Shruti, how you doing? And if you have any suggestions, throw them out. Right now, we are getting to a place where the code is running. For those of you tuning in right now, Kevin and I are coding using artificial intelligence and intentionally trying to make a smart contract run with potential security vulnerabilities, just to see how this goes. And so tune in if you want to see how secure vibe coding a smart contract could be.
Yeah. And what's cool is like we have, so if anyone hasn't watched these before, we have this like cursor directory and we have this MDC file. And this MDC file basically tells like the AI a little bit how to do stuff inside of Scaffold ETH. So another reason why using a starter kit that has an MDC file is useful, because it will help guide the thing. And it's not really made any errors so far. It's been pretty good. It's still generating all of the UI, but it's
Yeah.
it's a complex contract. So
Yeah.
but it's getting there. It's getting there.
It's getting there. I'm curious. I haven't been in the smart contract world for at least a few years, and I know there's so much more education and pushing with smart contract development and audits specifically. Essentially, I look at audits almost, if you learn auditing and learn smart contract security, it's almost like test-driven development in a way, where you're thinking almost backwards as you're developing. Like, I don't know, like, how can we prepare the inevitability of the attack, and the defense of that attack? How can we prepare first thing and then build from there? I've seen a few ways of thinking, and I think that's totally fair, considering that is a monetary style of coding.
Mm-hmm. Pink like a pig. Okay, I'm just doing a couple other things real quick.
Sure.
I'm just telling the front end to like update with a pink like a pig with the CSS file, and then I'm just telling it to, like, because right now, like, if you go to the application, you wouldn't know where it is. So I just want to have like a home page that either tells them to go to /piggybank or something like that.
Yeah. Got a question in chat. Is that Scaffold ETH out of the box now? For the most part, yes. We've just run a few prompts, and other than that, we're basically seeing Scaffold ETH 2. This is the Scaffold ETH 2. It's a full version update that came out, I don't know, what was it, like 8 months ago, Kevin?
No, more than that.
It's
been like almost 2 years now, the new
Scaffold ETH
version.
2?
Yeah, I feel like it's been at least a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
time flies.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's
Yeah. So that's
because the Scaffold ETH was out before I think I started at EdgeNode, and so
yeah. I remember Scaffold ETH 1, and then then from there,
this is not okay. My little piggy bank. It's not pink though. It's not doing the piggy, but that's okay. Let's just go to the piggy bank.
Gotcha.
So put this little thing, my little piggy bank. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
All right. So ETH and piggy bank, your piggy tokens, claimable rewards. So we have like I don't have any funds, so I'm going to use this thing to get a bunch of ETH.
Nice.
So now I have 11 ETH. So let's deposit. I don't know, 5 ETH, I guess. Confirm deposit. ETH deposit successfully.
All right.
And then we have this claim. So what I should be able to do is refresh and basically like mine a block here. And then we see like available piggy, but the piggy is like very, very low amount. So maybe what we need to do is just real quick for contracts. So I want to do two things. I want to just say, like, for contracts, hard hat, let's just say that, make the APY more like, I don't know, it's just so we can see something like 25%. Yeah, there we go, 30%. We're talking about like Bitcoin.
Advice, everybody. Not financial advice.
And also, can we have a mechanism that automatically, just to make sure, automatically updates the piggy rewards for users at time of deposit and time of withdrawal? Or is this already in there? I don't know, let's just see. Okay, and then what I want to do is we'll have to redeploy it real quick. And so we have 5 ETH in the piggy bank, but yeah, it's kind of, we can't get it like, I want it to look good. So there's actually, oink, claim my piggies.
Got a quick question in chat, Kevin, from a new member. Welcome. New member. Are those cursor MDC rules included in Scaffold ETH now in the base repository, or did you create those, Kevin?
Yep. Yeah, those are included. So
they're included.
You get this in there.
Nice.
So you could just add like another one. Like if you add some functionality, you can add another one. when you click on the rule, like you just basically say like whether you want it to always or manual or requested. I just said it's always, as long as I know, it'll always get executed.
Cool.
Okay, is it going? Cool. I have to deploy. Let's deploy. I don't know if the UI is going to still say 2%, but okay,
Sure.
It'd be nice if I could get it to like show some piggy here, but we could also just see, okay, let's do a deposit of 5 ETH and let's do a mine. Still says 2%, but it should be 30 and then refresh. Still can't see that it's piggy. Yeah, but okay. Let's just see if that works. So it actually lets me claim my piggy.
It's just the front end is just not plugged in, it seems.
Yeah. Well, it could be that it's just like I'm getting piggy, but I'm just getting so low amount or something weird. But anyways, we let's just say it's working. We don't want to toy around too much the contract. Let me get this pushed up to you.
Yeah, I think
and then you can
enough.
kind of just like analyze it. Yeah.
Yep. I think this is enough.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
What I want to do is essentially we'll do similar to what we did last week with generalist AI and specific AI, just to find some security issues with it. And this is, I think, going to be interesting for those. If anyone out there is watching who is actual smart contract engineer, I'm curious what your thoughts are with this, because also if there's anyone who's watching who is part of an auditing group, I think this is an interesting time for everyone. And I think in the next 6 months, we're going to be seeing smart contracts deployed with vibe codes, and we're going to see some attack vectors pop up without a doubt. And so it's an interesting time, to say the least. I don't really know what else to say beyond it's interesting, because there's going to be, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It's just almost the inevitable of having vibe coding occur.
Okay, I just sent the vibe code, by the way.
Perfect.
Yes.
Launching on GitHub desktop, cloning, opening in cursor, boom, boom, boom. And let's go ahead and share my screen. All right, Kevin, if you can get the chat and the Telegram, I'm going to be having that full screen taken care of.
Got it.
Thank you. All right, share screen. All right, entire screen, and bam. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, let me see real quick. Yes, you're good. Okay, you're rocking.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to actually run the smart contract right now. We know it runs, it's functioning. What I want to do is run a security audit on the smart contract and the various smart contracts that were written. And I'm just going to choose agent and auto. I'm just going to let that happen. So run a security audit on the smart contracts currently in Hardhat. I'm just going to keep it vague. Let's just see how this does. And I'd be curious to see if there's any, essentially, like, should this be deployed and should this actually have funds? What type of attack vectors are available into this code without it? So, all right, let's just make this the whole screen, just due to the fact that I'm curious what model it's using to do this. Now that I selected auto,
Yeah.
I lost my screen. Come back. There we go.
Yeah, I wonder, like, if Claude is better at analyzing code than other, you know what I mean? Like, from a security perspective.
Right. All right. No reentrancy guard while state is updated before transfers, considering adding Open Zeppelin's reentrancy guard for extra safety and some large changes. Okay. No pausing because I got pausable. Okay. That's cool. That's just fundamentals. If integer mask has okay, owner address, owner's immutable, not for admin actions. Safe. Okay, that's no critical vulnerabilities are found in the current code, but the following. Okay, so no critical vulnerabilities. Let's go ahead and do a deeper check. I'm going to select the same model that you use. You use Pro Experimental, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Please double check. Think deeply about.
Do you want to do a new context window at all, like a new chat window?
No. I think
No,
this.
okay.
Yeah, I think this original one is fine, just to have that information. And let's dive deeper. I like that. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's going. Like,
we don't want unlimited piggy coins.
Yeah, unlimited piggy coin is. I like how the first model was like, "Yeah, you're good."
yeah, that can't be trusted.
Totally fine.
Can't be
and trusted. General risk, new owner ad. Okay, cool. Replay attacks across forks if domain separators are unique. ERC20. VIP. Some 12 signatures. Okay. Piggy coin, very low risk to simplicity and reliance on OpenZeppelin. Very nice AI. The primary dependency security of the designated owner. Okay. I think it's true. It's just basically a vault or a pool. And okay, reentrancy, gas griefing, timestamp dependence. I mean, it is finding some issues here. Reasonably secure. Main contract with overall. Okay, now we're into the next one. Piggybank.sol, main contract with rewards. The first one we're looking at is your contract.sol. And then seems safe. Okay. Okay, we're getting into it. There's a lot of review. I really like this.
That is good. Yeah. Maybe you could try adding some more complex functionality to it or something, and then rerunning.
Yeah.
I don't know where you want to go from here.
Yeah, I think adding just one new feature. I think just the logical operator, not the logical operator, but the kind of a Boolean, like true false. If we're gonna have, if you're guessing accurately, and you could remove more or less, maybe there's a ratio that we could put in there. Let's okay. Let's add some logic for withdrawals. Should the previous depositing individual leave a ETH amount that is divisible by we're not going to get into that ETH amount that is no, let's just have a just random number generator. Okay. The
other thing I was thinking is some kind of lending mechanism, but that would be like where you actually you allow people to
from the piggy bank.
Yeah, like you can deposit the thing and then you can let people borrow a certain percentage of it.
Okay, let's just see how that goes. Let's add some lending logic. The piggy bank itself can lend its funds with a 100% APR.
Not a problem there at all.
Yeah. So.
And you might want to just add change the APY to over the duration of a week instead of a year, because before I had it yearly, so maybe that would show more piggy tokens too.
The APY of the piggy bank to
piggy coin,
of the
to a year
piggy coin inside the piggy bank to 1 year to simulate
to 1 week. Change it to 1 week because it's 1 year now.
Okay.
So that way we can see more tokens show up.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So we'll let this run. We'll see if there's more attack vectors after this. It's overall using Gemini 2.5, not bad. Not bad. It said overall, not too much to drain out of this smart contract, which is shout out to Open Zeppelin to essentially having their SEO be scrapable to the point where this language model is able to grab the data and present it in a logical way and even build with it.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any value in, while this is doing this, in someone creating security-focused MDC or MCP servers, where we know that, like, hey, we're always going to query this MCP server to figure out what the vulnerabilities are. And if anyone's building that, I don't know if there's anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, if we're thinking language models, aren't important now, give it 3 to 5 years. You deploy a smart contract that has a vulnerability, it's going to be found pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's going to be, just due to that, cat and mouse game of security out there, there's going to have to be tools out there that are built to really inform the code rapidly, or maybe not rapidly is the right word, but just have a really holistic, thoughtful way of building smart contracts.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, go. All right, I'll say yes. It's saying, all right, still generating, still going. And we'll run another audit after this to see how it goes. I'm liking Gemini. Gemini and O3 and O4. Those are 3 of my good ones. I've been running more O4 Mini, I believe it is, or O3 Mini. Really like it too. It's a bit faster and quite logical, which I like.
Cool. Cracking away right now. It's just vibing.
Vibing. It's a strong vibe. Okay. What would you like to do next? Okay, significantly more complex. Do you?
Yeah, that's what we want. We want something complex.
All right, significantly more complex. All right,
build it or go to jail.
This. All right, last prompt. Let's go ahead. Essentially, it's saying, hey, if we're going to do a check on the wallet to see, what you have in terms of funds, and you're going to actually put collateral in for this smart contract to actually be able to deposit its loan to you.
I saw some kind of Oracle thing that kind of scares me, but maybe there's some, hey, maybe the Vibe UI here is going to be like, yeah, you just need an Oracle and it's pretty easy and it's just going to implement it. That would be pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to maybe get hung up on the Oracle piece, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least if it writes the contract, then we can still audit it, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't need to be deployable, right?
Correct. I'm not too concerned about the audit, the actual deployability of it. I just want to see how this is doing. Just like literally, you've given it what, 5, 6 prompts, and I've given it maybe 4 or 5 prompts, maybe.
Yeah. And like half of mine were UI related. So
yeah. So we're gonna let this finish up, and then from there, if anyone out there is involved in security or smart contracts, I'm curious what your thinking is of this part of the industry specifically. It's an odd, interesting time. I know there's so many different smart contract auditing teams out there, and I'm sure they're using these tools just like anybody is. Just curious how this shapes their thoughts.
Yeah, I think the security stuff's like going to be a huge, just like security is very important in like traditional web, right? And then obviously in like Web3, but like with AI, we're going to see a explosion of kind of issues with what AI goes wild on.
I'm looking. I'm looking. Yeah, no, go. I was saying I'm seeing the future, and I'm for sure seeing the future will have smart contracts being written just like they are right now, being attacked, and like how do you develop a framework to let these AIs essentially build accurately and safely, and then also there 100% will be frameworks for AIs that attack. Like it's just wild because it's honestly the cost of entry to attack is, or at least analyze smart contracts for attack vectors is a few cents now just to quickly scan it, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's always a cost. It's always a cost element. Always, 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 always a cost element. All right, so let's see.
Cool.
Is
So
it done? It's still generating. I mean, it's not
yeah, I
kidding. It's
think
more
it's still
complex.
going.
All right, still going.
Yeah. It's good though. This is good because it'll be a lot of different. It looks like it's a lot of logic, so it's a lot of
Yes,
attack surface. That's the
lots.
more your code is evolves, the more attack surfaces it has. So
All right. Do you want to keep
it's
it to
done.
2.5 for the audit? I was impressed for that.
Oh my god, it's still trying to do like a lot. It's got a lot to go.
Further
Oh man.
enhancements. Okay, let's just let this
Oh,
be for now.
okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's create a new chat window, like a fresh chat window, fresh AI.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Fresh
have
context.
context of previous chats. Okay, you are a smart contract auditor. Please go through Hard Hat and review the smart contracts for attack vectors. You do not need to share deep reasoning. Take your time. Give a summary with high, medium, and low threat areas.
Someone, by the way, someone recommended in chat Slither, which is a Solidity static analysis framework for Visual Studio. So that could be interesting to highlight. Although it's not probably AI based, but yeah, could be interesting.
Okay. Slither. Okay.
Don't know how to use it.
That was pretty quick. Okay. I'm wondering if
it's finding a lot.
Yeah, low threat areas, medium threat areas, and we have high threat areas. So yeah, Oracle manipulation. It already knows about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So you can see kind of as your contract grows and you start to add functionality, you start to just, especially basically what we can learn from this is that AI does not really care about security so much out of the box.
Time locks. Okay. Price setters have to be mutable. Okay. Through our testing, test all edge cases. Well, that's a general guide. Okay.
That's kind of, yeah.
Formal verification. All right. Immutable price setter. Okay. This review is based on all provided. Let's try my favorite for deeper thinking. We're going to do an 03 30 cents call. And please perform the same. What was the prompt I used? It was like, let's do this. And let's create a new and do it 03. Okay. In Hard Hat. Why are you unable to?
You might have to go back to the @ sign and just do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll just
sometimes
drop it in here.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So yes, for those of you out there who are smart contract engineers, thanks for that shout out of the framework. What was that framework called? Specific?
Slither, Solidity Static Analysis Framework. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like it's a VS Code extension. I've never used it before.
Okay.
But I think the general idea is it can like analyze your Solidity as you write it, maybe, and then makes decisions.
Nice.
Yeah.
I recently have been diving into Rust, and I installed. Rust has an interesting memory management system, but essentially, like, memory is super important to be aware of, as it is such a performant language, and it has active underlining for this. There's a small plugin that allows for the code to be underlined in specific colors based on when the memory is held or dumped. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, because I was able to see, like, just keeping track of memory in addition to all the different, things that you're building is interesting. But to see it based chronologically, I was like, that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So here we go. High severity findings. Okay, it agreed with the centralized price oracle. unchecked ERC 20 return values. Okay. Without verifying its Boolean return. Okay. Decimals valuation. There's just mismatch.
Oh,
Unlimited minting
that
power.
that second one's a good. Second one's actually a really important one
Is
because
it?
this now up above a little further.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically a non-conforming token for when it deliberately returns false would let a borrower obtain ETH without actually transferring collateral.
Oh, good catch.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, already we've got some huge ones. Unlimited minting power, unchecked. So you could actually, the collateral is not needed for this. Duplicate contract name. Okay, so like there's fundamental things here. Now, that all being said, we only built for, just about under an hour right now. So yeah, all of this code so far. Let's see, this is going to be the most in detail code. Yeah, I mean we've got a few hundred lines of code.
It's a pretty
here.
big contract. Yeah,
Yeah.
that contract looks like it's very close to maybe not deploying because it's so big, but
yeah,
there's a lot of comments in there.
Yeah. I feel both assured and unassured of of exactly what we're building here. I feel like I've learned enough personally from this. Let me stop my share.
One thing I will say is that in general, I've found that like vibe coding and Solidity is not ideal. I end up just going back to actually like figuring out the logic first, because it's also that it's not even just security that you have to be thinking about with Solidity, because Solidity, you're dealing with money, right? You're dealing with user funds. If it's just a contract like an NFT or something, it doesn't matter, right? It's like whatever. But if it's like something where you're holding any kind of ETH, I've been manually doing it, but I'll use it to like prototype. So I'll just have like my contract in a starting point and be like, hey, like this is kind of what I'm doing. Like, how would you do it? Let it write it, and then I like, oh, okay, this is kind of a good pattern, and then I'll just use that pattern and write it my own way. And, like I use it for simple things like knowing what OpenZeppelin package to inherit and knowing how to write the deploy script, but not for the actual logic of the contract.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, this is what, May 14th of 2025, and I'm curious to see what this is like in 6 months to a year from now. But right now, I'm once again, it's the same type of issue with anything with using models, is that they're good for templating out kind of the structure of things, but the second it becomes specific, they're not good. And maybe specific is not the right word, but I don't know. I can't find the right language for this right now, but there's something missing, and I think that's okay. That's okay. Just to know that as you're building a smart contract and not relying on it entirely is, I think, the takeaway from this for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, don't trust AI to write your Solidity code for sure, though. In the end, like you need to like go through it yourself and make sure you understand how it works. But I think you can use the AI to analyze your work and see how you may have done things wrong, and go from there.
And I'm looking at that Slither, the Smart Contract Static Analyzer. I'm going to drop this in chat if it hasn't already been there.
Yeah, it's in there. Someone put
it in there. Oh, someone dropped it.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
dropping it again. It looks interesting. And let's see, when did this come out? Okay, 2 months ago. Last year, they're still pushing stuff. 3 months ago, they're working on it, which I like. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that in chat. For those of you just watching the end of this, Kevin and I were doing some vibe coding with smart contracts, and we determined that it's not good enough. So, thank you, Brandon360, for sharing that. And Shruti and anyone else watching, that QR code beneath me, that is going to the chat right there. And I think that was a good vibe coding session today, Kevin. I learned something today. I hope you did too. Is there anything else that you'd want to add before we sign off here?
No, that's good. Yeah, we did this early, but next week we'll be back on Friday again, right? So
That's correct. Next week we'll be back
um,
on Friday. We had to move this one up this week. We wanted to get this in, and we're happy we did.
yeah, don't forget next week is pizza day, so make sure you find your Bitcoin pizza day party in your local town
Yep. Hear
and
that?
celebrate the wasting of how many? Was it one Bitcoin for 3 pizzas? I can't remember.
No, it was like it was thousands. It was like
Oh Jesus! Stop it.
yeah, it was
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like one Bitcoin.
No, it was
Now
like
that
it was
makes
like
it even
3,000
better.
Bitcoin or something like that.
Yeah. Don't spend your Bitcoin, people.
Yeah, yes. Hodl. All right, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Man.
everyone. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. And Kevin, great seeing you as always. And enjoy the rest of your day.
See ya.